Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a really fresh, cold morning. It feels like 0 degrees, but there's a lot of moisture in the air, so it's really cold. Hands and feet are numb, running conditions, so cold to say the least. And it's a Saturday summary today, where we discuss the high and low points of my journey as a serial entrepreneur. So as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, my weekly summary as the journey of a serial entrepreneur. So, has it been a good week? Has it been a bad week? I often don't realise before I do these episodes actually whether it's been a good or a bad week. So we'll go through it and then we'll assess it at the end. So as always, I'll talk you through each business, where we're up to, what we're doing differently, so you can kind of understand the high and low points of the journey. A lot of these businesses are very new, so there's a couple of established ones, but the rest of them are really new, so lots of stuff kind of happening with new startups. But the first business is Property Empire Investments, which is my deal sourcing business, and yeah, it's been a good week. Well, I'll say a good week. I'm trying to think. We did a 15.5 grand day. I think that was either the back end of last week, or it might be the front end of this week. I think it was the back end of last week. So, but we've sourced a couple more deals that we've got now in our new processes. So what's happened basically is that in December we were ramping things up in November last year. So we launched in like August. By the end of kind of October, November time, we were doing 50 grand months, which was amazing. And then we had some issues with our not supply chain, but the pipeline management side of things, in the fact that we were almost over flooding the government-backed agency with new stock. So we've got to have a controlled pipeline now, which you'd think was disastrous, because you think we're just ramping this up now, and now we're getting, our wings clipped as such. But in actual fact, it kind of highlighted a kind of a key weakness in the business, that we were so reliant on one outlet for our deals, and if something happened with them, which it did, it was going to cause issues. And so we've had to kind of pivot as a business and look at how else can we monetize every deal. And we've got some new outlets now. We're still doing the government-backed guarantee, 20% ROI stuff. We've also got an avenue now to shift single-let properties through the same process, where we're getting between 13 and 15% ROI, but the investment's significantly lower. So that's kind of hitting the investor market that aren't so kind of liquid, which is really cool. We've also got bog standard HMOs that are kind of, some that need to be converted, that we've got an outlet for, and we've got others that we will convert for ourselves, not for ourselves, but we'll convert ourselves and then sell them on as well. So we've got I wouldn't say it's in place yet, but we've got the potential for a really strong distribution network, which is really, really key. Also, we've kind of got a load of clients through our education business as well, that as they grow, they're going to start looking at taking on some of the deals as well. So the future is looking really, really strong for the business. And what we've had to do is to change a lot of the systems, a lot of the processes, which has been quite a lot of hard work and effort, but it's starting to now come into play, and we're getting the sourcing deals over the line again. 2 that we got signed off back into last week. Several inquiries already. We expect the 2 of them to have gone by Monday, so that'll be another 10 grand in, hopefully by Monday, which is cool, and we should have more deals secured by then. So we've been doing a lot of work on the website and the structure of the site and the automation behind it, in building our investor lists and sending automation emails out with new deals information, which we're working on as well. So it's stuff that, without any direct monetary gain, it would be easy to say, oh, it's been a pretty average week. But in actual fact, there's been quite a lot of discuss, a lot of stuff that's been ironed out, a lot of processes that have been agreed that are now in place. So I would say it's been a positive week. Not from a monetary standpoint, we took no revenue, but from a process and a evolutionary perspective, it's been pretty positive. So that's Property Empire Investments. Property Empire Builder, which is where we host our 2 Squared Academy. We've got kind of between 165 and 170 active subscribers at the moment. The aim is to get to 200 by the end of the quarter, so we're well on track for that. building out the program, lots of collaborations and opportunities that have come from that business, from the content that we've been putting out there. So that's really, really exciting and cool. And some of the stuff we're now doing on the social platforms is really driving some good traction. So I'll keep you all updated on that as we go. Something that we're just looking to launch now is Clubhouse, and if you're not familiar with it, it's like a live kind of podcast style app. It's all audio, so you go into big groups of people and you can control who speaks. It's like Zoom without video, but there's no recording and repurposing side of it, so it's all live. But it's getting huge organic traffic at the moment, and you can link in with your Instagram and your Twitter accounts, and we're seeing a lot of people get some big followings from it. So we're about to launch that to kind of drive some new kind of traffic into our funnels, and I've got big hopes for that. So myself and Jack are going to be focusing on that over the next week or so, which is going to be pretty cool. All right, mate. So that's exciting. The Property Empire Builder is ticking along nicely. The modules are going out. The feedback's been really good from the clients. We're getting a few drop-offs as we're expecting, people that are just testing the waters and realise it's perhaps not for them, which is absolutely fine. But we're still getting a consistent flow of maybe between kind of, I'd say 4 and 7 new sign-ups every week, and that's completely automated. So that's really, really cool to kind of be in that position. So yeah, overall, again, positive week. It's moving forward, and almost if we have less hassle with the academy, it means it's running really well, and there's not a lot of hassle that's come from the last week, so that's cool. Next business is my property business. Big High, the block of flats we financed, we've had the kind of underwriting. It was signed off the last couple of weeks, but the solicitor inquiries, there were a few things back and forth, and we were looking at, oh no, are these issues going to cause problems? And I mean, there's issues with the existing lender because, as I've stated before, we had a big down valuation on it, so it is in negative equity, although reality is that I don't think it's a negative equity. I think there's a significant amount of equity in it. I just think that due to the kind of current climate, it was down valued by a valuer that I think's got no. I mean, it's valued at 575k, and I've also got a RICS valuation on it for 1.2 million. So it just goes to show. So as a result, the existing lender, who wasn't going to be completely financed out, rather than kind of package it up with other refinances to get the level up, they still want to keep a second charge on the building. So that was just to protect their position, but it's strengthened their position considerably because they're not sitting on a massive loan anymore. It's a significantly reduced loan. So all the ins and outs of that, but the positive is that the inquiries have been boxed off now, and it looks like we've got a clear route to completion. I'm not going to tempt fate because I've been working on this for probably 3 years in total, so it will be cartwheel time if we get this over the line, but possibly by the end of next week it could fleet over to the week after, but we will see. Property business, again, Claire, who does the kind of running of that, is moving over to the social media agency, and we've got Jackie, somebody who's come into the business, a remote worker, and she's got huge potential, and she's going to be taking over the running of the property management company. So we're doing a lot of handover, process, systems related stuff, all the things that I've needed to do for a long time, because I'm going to package them up and sell the systems in the academy. So that's pretty cool, working on that and actually understanding that it's not just investing in the efficiencies of a business, but it's actually investing my time in something that's going to be a saleable product as well. So that's pretty cool as well. So we had another move in, and things are gradually moving in the right direction. So that's pretty cool. We also did the Runpreneur social media content repurposing agency. I mentioned that one of the guys that helped me build this, Dan, is he's got into his kind of new job. He still wants to stay involved, but he's taken a kind of a more of a backseat role now. So we've had to transition him out of the day-to-day and Claire into that, and Dan's going to work with me on the kind of integrating new opportunities, new systems and new processes into that business. So there's been some transition there, but I think we've broke the back of that now, and things are starting to look a lot more positive in the new structure of how that kind of rolls out. One of my other marketing guys, Ryan, who's very good on funnels, he wants to get more involved in social media, so he's going to start taking a more active role in the social media optimization process as well. So really keen to see how his involvement, how his education goes in that side of the business. So that's super exciting. So again, we're on track. We've discussed integrating a podcast for Runpreneur very soon, and also the blog. We're going to get a blog up with all my previous episodes transcribed. So we're working on that at the moment, because that's going to be part of what we offer out to clients when the agency launches. So really excited about that. And we're also working hard on the client onboarding process. So before we start dropping our first test candidates into the program. So lots of things happening in that business as we're gearing up for launch. We're also working on our marketing campaign calendar, what we're launching, when we're launching it, and trying to get that into some form of calendar format so that we can plan ahead accordingly. Because as with everything, launches and things take a lot of time and effort, and you need to schedule them in advance to be able to proactively dealing with them rather than reactively. So again, positive. Obviously no monetary gain, but we're getting close to launching. We've updated my kind of lead magnet as well, which is my 70-step checklist to social media content repurposing. And I've also, created my own Linktree type account where we're just using a landing page with all my links on it. We can make it a lot more adaptive by running that ourselves. So I've set that up now as well, and that's on all my social bios. So we'll see what kind of traffic that page gets as I start ramping up some more social media activity. So keen to see the kind of stats on that. The last business is, well, a bunch of these two together: Property Empire Construction and Maintenance and Property Empire Holdings. One rent-to-rent deal over the line. We're sourcing tenants at the moment. Should generate over 500 quid a month clear. And the second rent-to-rent deal, we're just waiting for signing of documents at the moment. So again, it should be £1,000 a month coming in between the two, 500 quid a month on each. Once we get them tenanted, and we're working on tenant sourcing at the moment. So that's pretty cool. Construction and maintenance. I think we've got another refurbishment signed off now. On to the next. We're still working through 17 or so as we drop new ones into the pipeline as well. So they're starting to grow up. There's no margin in it yet, as we're just getting used to the whole kind of process. But once we streamline the efficiencies, we'll be looking at generating margins as well. So again, all things positive and not too much disruption or too much hassle. I think the frustrations I've had this week is I felt there's been a lack of progress, but talking it through now, there's been loads of progress, and I just want some of these processes to be boxed off and ironed out, because I'm responsible for that side of the business. When things aren't in place and it's not quite done, I get a little bit kind of agitated and frustrated. So I'll be cracking on with that next week. The other thing, I blocked out a whole day this week on the financials to really dive deep on the forecasts and figures, and yeah, things are looking really positive. I have a really cool Asana project now where all my costs for every business, I've got my direct and indirect costs categorized. I've got each cost center, so which business is involved in, so I can see what our exposure. I know what our break-even points are for each business. I know where we are, what profit margins we've got, gross net profit margins, so I know for every pound that comes in how many pennies is profit, which is a really key figure to kind of understand. And I just have that financial clarity, and I owe a lot to Josh Keegan, the profit process, for that. And hopefully this Asana setup is something I may offer as a product in the future as well. So but that's been really cool. So overall, really positive. I think if I was going to summarise, the positives are that, I suppose, if we look at we've had another, I think 5 or 6 new subscribers for the academy this week. Each of those equates to £50 a month, so it's adding another kind of 300 quid a month onto the revenue figure, which is really cool. The Runpreneur social media content repurposing agency is ramping up a gear with the stuff we're launching in terms of the podcast, also the blog, and getting ready to start testing with clients. So really exciting. The financial clarity that I've now got across all businesses is super key. Really happy with where we are on that front as well. So some big wins. The negatives, there's too many of the processing systems aren't finished, so it's creating a little bit of frustration on my side. There's been some personnel and role transitions which have been a little bit disruptive, but all for the right reasons. So other than that, it's all been relatively positive. So that's pretty much it for me today. So as always, If you've got any questions on this stuff, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If there's a bigger question, I might do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. If this is not relevant to you, no problem, just unfollow me and it will stop cluttering up your social feeds. But make sure you do check in on the Runpreneur YouTube channel, whereby we've got, I do a different topic on every day of the week. So just because today's may not be relevant, hopefully there'll be other days that are super relevant, that you can kind of tap in and out of on an ad hoc basis, completely free. So please do check out that and support the channel. On the same case, check out the link in all my bios, whereby I'm hosting all my free resources. First one being the 70-step checklist for content repurposing, reformatting and optimising your social content across all channels. So if you're looking to put more content out there and you want to see what I do, check that out. Hopefully it'll be really useful for you. So other than that, also to say is that the Runpreneur blog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, which if not managed can lead to overwhelm, which if controlled, evolves to anxiety and mental health challenges. And we do this by using exercise, or in my case running, as a release mechanism to release and control these pressures that every single entrepreneur and business owner experiences. And it's often the difference between success and failure, how well an entrepreneur deals with these. The ones that do it well have that control, remain in control, keep clarity, keep focus, and they move on to bigger and better things in their world. The ones that don't do it well, it's like pressure building up in a pipe. The more and more pressure, eventually the pipe bursts, and in this case something breaks, and it's usually the entrepreneur has a breakdown or the business breaks down, and either or can be terminal to the likelihood of the business lasting a test of time. So I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses over the years. I've lost multiple business partners over the years, and I've almost been bankrupt because of these challenges. And I finally feel now that I've got something in my life that I've got control of it. I finally feel in control. I finally feel I found my way, and as a result, I've made kind of more progress in the last 6 months than I have in the past 3 years. So I feel I'm well placed now to kind of help people with this. And if you are an entrepreneur struggling with this, okay, and there's no catch here at all, but if you are struggling with these emotions, drop me a message, okay? We'll jump on a call. There's no catch here at all. I'm not selling anything, because the vlog was always set up to help. And I always said if I could just jump on the phone, give you a few tips, a few hints and bits of advice that you can implement into your routine. And I've done this with several entrepreneurs already, and hopefully we've made a really positive impact on them, and hopefully I can do the same for you. And I said if this vlog just helps one entrepreneur or saves one business, then it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So don't be stubborn, reach out, help is there if you need it. I know people have helped me when I've been down, and I'd love to return the favour in some capacity. So that's it for me. As always, if you like this episode, give it a like, comment and subscribe on my YouTube channel. If you want to see similar content, please check out the playlist link in the YouTube channel. And as always, I'll leave you with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.